Good day, everyone. I am Jivelan Sanchez, student of AMA Learning Center. The Social Dilemma is a Netflix original documentary. It investigates the consequences of social media and social networking sites. Although the creation of these websites has benefited our world, it has also resulted in a slew of unintended effects. Politics, business, world, culture, education, careers, innovation, and other areas are all influenced by social media. However, I am more inclined to focus on the impact of social media on our society, particularly in terms of politics and social trends. At this time, the majority of individuals today acquire their political news from social media. Those who acquire their political news primarily from social media are less well informed and more likely to be exposed to unverified assertions than those who get it from traditional sources. The influence of social media in political campaigns has expanded in comparison to prior types of media. Social networks are becoming increasingly crucial in political processes in areas where COVID 19 is present, especially in terms of campaigning. Given how close the race is, candidates use social media to disseminate their propaganda and keep the public informed. People are able to communicate more freely thanks to social media. They are assisting in the formation of surprisingly powerful social organizations among previously marginalized populations. There are five things I've learned about the social challenge after seeing the documentary. First and foremost, social media is not merely a tool to be used. It has its own objectives and methods for achieving them. When friends tag us in their posts and our photographs, we get an email or push notice. This isn't simply to notify us, it's to keep us interested and hooked. Second, the internet works by creating technology based on an individual's personality. We anticipate something to be waiting for us every time we look at our devices. This is the secret to be a successful social media campaign. The fact that we are continually expecting something, almost as if we are thirsty, is the definition of addiction. Third, there's growth hacking. For corporate growth, an entire field of study into human mind and psychology has been built. It has no surprise that folks who create the tools and technology become addicted to them. They, too, are people. Fourth, as humans, we have an insatiable desire to interact with others. Our addiction is driven by these needs, and social media applications are simply instruments to help us fulfill it. We have a trait of deriving our self worth from others, and it appears that this trait is causing us to become even more glued to our screens.
And lastly, there is still life like the good old days outside of social media. It pays to turn it off and truly connect with people. You can go for a meal or spend time outdoors doing an activity you can enjoy with friends. Screen time only takes away our ability to truly connect and leaves us with a false sense of self-worth. As Mr. Daniel Haberman said, if you're not paying for the product, then you are the product. The video entitled The Social Dilemma tells me that many social media companies succeed by capturing as much of our attention as they can, then selling that attention to the highest bidders.
I am frequently perplexed as to know how social media programs such as Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and others make money. And now I understand. My attention has always seemed valuable to me, but evidently, it is worth millions of dollars. Aside from that, another thing has contributed to my distracting sickness. This is where I can't seem to stay focused and can't seem to concentrate. I have a disease that causes me to waste hours of day clicking on random nothingness. If we allow these platforms to continue harvesting data for the sake of selling adverts and using algorithms to manage our lives while ignoring ethical concerns, then we will be doomed. Mental health is one of the important concerns or aspects in the documentary that I observed and believe merits further investigation and discussion. The use of social media platforms and their impact on mental health deserve consideration from a variety of areas. There are currently no processes in place to verify the content that is posted. We are also more vulnerable to cyberbullying, which can exacerbate mental health difficulties because we have friends who can post and redistribute anything. These are important and concerning issues, particularly in the light of the rising numbers of hospitalizations and suicide rates among youth. Because our thoughts are so vulnerable, they know that if they can tap into it, they can hook, line, and sinker you. So let us be mindful of our thoughts. In Romans chapter 12 verse 2, the Bible mentions this. And do not be conformed to this world, but be converted by the renewing of your mind. It says that you may test what is the good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. Are you renewing your mind? Are you guarding it and filling it with the proper things? Think about it carefully.